Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Michael is crying loudly because you don't listen this urgent message. A millionaire has taken a sudden interest in you. They are shocked. Open this immediately. They were never supposed to see your name. Buried deep in a vault where powerful people hide the names of those they fear, your profile glowed with an ancient mark, divine, burning, protected. But now, a billionaire with shaken hands and a racing heart has seen it, and nothing will ever be the same. He whispered your name to his assistant like it carried weight no one else could understand. Not because of what you've done, but because of what heaven has declared over your future. God says, your name was sealed with favor before you were even born, and now the time has come for it to be revealed. You were erased. Covered by a shadow cast by someone jealous of your light. They deleted opportunities, blocked messages, and smiled while they rewrote your destiny behind closed doors. The vault your name was trapped in had thick spiritual chains, not just financial ones. It was guarded by someone who used to call you family, but whose soul bent the moment they tasted envy. Archangel Michael says, he stood at that door and struck it with his sword, but your fear made the hinges tighten instead of give. This was not just money. This was generational wealth, legacy, and spiritual inheritance, cloaked by manipulation, buried in silence. The person who has now found your name was never meant to find you through human effort, but through divine timing. And that time is now. Their dreams have been haunted by signs, symbols, and voices, until they followed them all the way to you. One morning, while sipping coffee by their glass wall window, they opened a briefcase filled with confidential files, and there, your picture fell out. They cried. They don't know why. But the moment they saw your face, a wave of heat and sorrow swept over them, like they'd forgotten something sacred. Someone has been tracking you in secret, and not for protection. They tried to bury what heaven preserved, and God says, they almost succeeded, had Michael not intervened at the last second. Your destiny was about to be handed to another, someone unworthy, until that very file shook loose and slid across the billionaire's desk like it had a soul of its own. There was a photo in it. You. But not the version of you today, the version you were meant to become. Glowing. Radiant. Peaceful. Wealthy. A version of you that looks nothing like your pain today. And that image stunned them into silence, as if heaven said, look again. This is what I see. You haven't been abandoned. You've been hidden, divinely cloaked until the moment of your unveiling could no longer be stopped. But with every hidden gift comes a risk. The thief is nearby, watching, bitter, and planning again. They know this person is looking for you. They're panicking. They're whispering in ears, telling lies, preparing another cover-up to prevent this meeting from ever happening. But Archangel Michael says, the cry in his voice is from your delay. The longer you wait to align with your calling, the louder heaven must roar to break through your confusion. And heaven is roaring now, breaking the silence you've grown used to. This person is wealthy, but their soul is dry. They are successful in the world's eyes but bankrupt in spirit, until your name reminded them of the divine. When they saw you, something awakened, a longing to heal what they didn't know they broke. They sent their team to find you. But someone close to you intercepted the request. It was forwarded, rewritten, disguised, just like before. This was the moment that changed everything. And though you haven't seen the shift yet, it's already begun. In boardrooms, behind golden doors, and in secret calls, your name is being spoken with reverence. God says, you were not forgotten. The proof is unfolding in real time. Someone whose heart was never supposed to break for you, is now broken, undone, and unable to stop dreaming about your impact. Even your enemies are shaken. They feel something is coming but don't know what. They see you rising, and panic tastes like metal in their mouth. You were chosen. They mocked it, ignored it, and tried to delete it, but divine documents don't burn. And the richest man in the room is about to testify on your behalf, not out of pity, but out of trembling obedience. The scroll with your name on it was protected by Michael himself. And now that it's open, no force in hell can close it again. But beware, someone is preparing a final deception to stop you from accepting the invitation coming your way. They're dressed in love. They'll use memories, comfort, and timing to make you miss it. But Archangel Michael says, this time, do not let your peace be a disguise for their manipulation. Because the door that just opened, the one the millionaire walks through, leads straight to the life you were promised before the world betrayed you. The war around you has never truly stopped. It only grew quieter, more cunning, more disguised, until silence became the strategy of your enemies. They hid in laughter, cloaked their sabotage in affection, and pretended their delay was divine timing. But Archangel Michael says, the silence was not heaven's. It was the sound of spiritual ambush, the space where false peace disguised inner war. And while you waited, someone was rewriting your story in a language of loss. You should have been further. You should have seen the reward by now. But a traitor in your midst whispered doubts into your ears until they became your truth. You trusted someone with your wounds, but they traded them for weapons. They learned your fears, then used them as keys to your spiritual vault. What they found terrified them, because what was locked inside of you could make them irrelevant. So they moved quietly. They laced their care with competition, pretending to lift while secretly pulling. And still, God says, you gave grace, hoping their heart would change. It didn't. Instead, they hardened. And while you cried over their betrayal, they smiled at their delay. But heaven didn't forget. Archangel Michael says, your tears were counted, and the silence around your pain was filled with angelic rage. He shouted your name in the chambers of justice, and heaven's winds shifted in your favor. There was a moment last night, the moon trembled behind torn clouds, and the sky lit up with unseen movement. That wasn't weather. That was war. Someone tried to end you in the spirit while you slept. They spoke a curse, wrapped in a compliment. They set intentions against your success, cloaked in celebration. But heaven intercepted it. The sword of Michael didn't just block it, it returned it, multiplied. And the very energy they sent to suffocate you will now smother their plans. God says, this is the era of divine reversals. And what they thought was stolen forever is returning with interest. But the interest will crush their ego, because it won't return to their hands, it's being placed into yours. The billionaire who found your name doesn't know the full war you've lived through. But they feel it. Every time they see your image, they get chills. They've called in spiritual advisors. They've started dreaming in symbols, waking up breathless. Because your presence has activated something ancient in their lineage. You were meant to meet long ago. But the person who should have introduced you refused. Not because of fate, but because of fear. They feared losing control. They feared your light would reveal their manipulation. So they stood between you and your miracle, until now. Now, the cries of Michael are too loud. They echo in the spirit realm, cracking doors you didn't even know existed. And the angels surrounding you are no longer silent, they are striking the air with fire. Your house has been marked. The walls shake when you speak your purpose. And even the floorboards have started to hum beneath your feet. The battle is intensifying not because you're weak, but because you're too close to unstoppable. Your name is not just known, it's feared. In dark meetings, your image flickers on spiritual screens and causes confusion. They can't stop you, so they try to distract you. They can't delay you anymore, so they aim to drain you emotionally. They want you tired when the door swings open, so you won't walk through it. But Archangel Michael says, this is your final resistance. Your breakthrough is being delivered in motion, not stillness. You will walk into it mid-step, unaware until the atmosphere shifts. The billionaire has set a motion into place. A movement has started with your name as its foundation. And though the enemy is watching, their weapons are now misfiring. One of your old friends is shaking. They've heard something. They know a letter is coming with your name sealed on it, and they're trying to beat it to your doorstep. They'll offer an apology. They'll pretend it was all confusion. But heaven saw the intent behind their delay, it was never love, only control. God says, do not return to familiar captivity. You cried your way out of that season. Do not laugh your way back into it. The angels are clearing the skies now. They are organizing your surroundings, shaking up what must fall. Even your furniture has started to feel uncomfortable, because newness is descending. This person, this millionaire, has been spiritually reawakened. You triggered a memory they didn't know they lost, a promise to protect someone with a mark. That someone is you. Now they feel responsible. They are weeping without knowing why. Because heaven placed your burden in their heart, and the pain of your delay is now their burden too. But you must be ready. The energy around you is volatile, blessings wrapped in fire, miracles born through chaos. If you are not aligned, you will mistake the delivery for destruction. So rise with clarity. Archangel Michael says, every lie spoken against you will now be revealed publicly. And every delay you cried over is about to be repaid in divine speed. But stay alert. The enemy has one last card to play. A person from your past is being sent to confuse your timing. They'll speak your language. They'll mimic the divine. But something in their eyes won't match their words. You'll know. You'll feel the chill. You'll hear Michael's cry again, and your spirit will burn with recognition. Because this time, you are no longer the victim. This time, you are the prophecy. And no amount of silence can stop what God already spoke. The wind shifted at 3:33 a.m. It swept through a mansion where someone sat up, drenched in sweat, whispering a name they'd never spoken aloud. Your name. They don't know why they see your face when they close their eyes. They've never met you, but it feels like they've lost you before. Like your absence is carved into their soul. This isn't coincidence. This is spiritual haunting. Archangel Michael says, your image was placed in their dreams by heaven's command. You are not just someone they're curious about. You are someone they've been warned not to miss. Because one wrong move, and the blessing tied to your presence will vanish from their legacy forever. They are feeling frantic now. People around them say they've become obsessed. They've withdrawn from parties, skipped meetings, ignored phone calls, to find you. They hired someone. Yes, a spiritual team, one fluent in realms and timelines. And your name, once hidden, was unearthed under layers of spiritual sabotage. A phial was found. Ancient, glowing, sealed with a wax of holy flame. The room turned ice cold when they opened it, your name pulsed on every page. It wasn't just about who you are. It was about what you carry. God says, you are the deliverer of something they lost in a past life of decision. Their breakthrough requires your agreement. Your signature will unlock doors they've only dreamed of. But the betrayal that delayed you still lingers in your aura. There is a scent of pain wrapped around your aura that heaven is now burning off. And the fire you feel lately? That's purification, not punishment. The people who once kept you hidden are being confronted. One of them has fallen sick. Their dreams are haunted by the same image, your face, shining, walking away from them forever. They're desperate. They want to rewrite the ending before it reaches your door. But Archangel Michael says, it's too late. You were chosen to be discovered this way. Not through man-made approval, but divine revelation. You are not being rewarded, you are being revealed. The millionaire sees flashes now. A moment in the future where you stand beside them, not behind. Where your voice carries weight even in rooms full of giants. They keep returning to your image. Even when they try to look away, the glow pulls them back. They don't understand how someone they've never met feels more real than their own family. But that's because your souls collided in the spirit before time began. Before betrayal. Before money. Before fame. There was a covenant, sealed by fire, hidden in the stars, and forgotten by time. Now, that covenant is demanding its fulfillment. And your enemies can feel the clock ticking. Their nightmares are filled with clocks melting, time warping, and doors slamming. Someone who knew your potential tried to rewrite your prophecy. They forged documents in the spirit. They tried to reassign your gift to someone more controllable. But heaven caught them. The scroll was seized, and their hands were burned with invisible fire. They haven't slept in 3 days. Because the wealth, fame, and favor that's rushing toward you now was never meant to be shared. It was customized. Your name is the only password. God says, the tables are being flipped. The feast you were denied is now being held in front of those who starved you on purpose. And the chair you were kept from is now glowing with divine light. But be careful. Your sudden glow is attracting shadows. Not everyone drawn to your light wants to celebrate it. One person is planning to mimic the divine timing. They've watched your path closely. They'll try to show up as the answer, but their spirit leaks envy. Listen to the wind. Feel the tremble in your bones when they speak. The truth will shake the room when you look into their eyes. Meanwhile, the millionaire has sent out an emissary. They've disguised their messenger. They want to know if your heart is still pure. It will happen suddenly. A random encounter, a ride, a question, a stranger speaking your dream aloud. Don't miss it. That's the test. Archangel Michael says, if your response is authentic, the doors will fly open. If your energy is bitter or closed, the angels will retreat until you're ready. This is a test of vibration, not volume. Stay grounded. The earthquake you feel is not destruction, it's alignment. Heaven is cracking open every false floor you were forced to stand on. They're rebuilding your foundation with eternal material. No more temporary support. No more counterfeit love. One person is about to disappear from your life. Don't chase them. Their exit is the requirement for your release. And one message is about to arrive, it will look too good to be true. But the spirit within it will burn with undeniable truth. You'll feel like crying for no reason. That's confirmation. That's the inner knowing reawakening from long slumber. The path will not be easy. But the pace will be divine. And your feet will not bleed on this next stretch, heaven has cushioned every step. The millionaire's team has narrowed the search. They are one dream away from contacting you directly. They want you on a platform, not in the shadows. But they won't move until the signal is clear. And the signal is not your talent, it's your alignment. They are watching your energy, not your resume. This next season won't be earned. It will be granted. Because what's coming isn't compensation, it's recognition. The hourglass flipped without warning. You didn't see it fall, but something inside you broke open. The sky dimmed, not from clouds, but from presence. A spiritual silence filled the room. Heavy, thick, sacred. And then came the sound, a loud, aching cry. Not human. Not earthly. It pierced dimensions, echoing through your chest like thunder trapped in glass. Archangel Michael says, that cry was his. He wept because the message he carried for you almost missed its mark. Because you kept silencing your intuition. Because you kept waiting for signs while your soul screamed the truth. The cry wasn't just grief. It was divine impatience. Because your moment has already arrived, but hesitation delays the unlocking. Someone you trusted cursed your name in secret. Their bitterness soaked your timeline. That's why your blessings kept slipping just beyond your grasp. They smiled in your face while hexing your future. They praised your light while siphoning your shine. God says, their mask will now rot in public. A divine collapse is underway. Not to harm you, but to reveal the ones who harmed you. Every name spoken against you in shadows is being shouted in the spirit. Their alliances are shattering. Those who covered for them are panicking. Because heaven opened your sealed case file and exposed every lie. The angels now carry swords, not scrolls. This is not a message, it is a verdict. Archangel Michael says, the war is over. The harvest begins. You are about to feel a sudden shift. A burning in your stomach. A warmth on your back like light pressing through your skin. Don't run from it. That is the mark of reversal. Every wound you suffered will now reverse into wisdom. Your pain is no longer for weeping, it is your credential. The suffering they mocked is now your anointing. The cracks in your soul now glow like golden rivers. Someone close to you will soon confess. Tears, apologies, shaking hands. You don't have to respond, but their confession is part of your release. They will say they didn't know the weight of what they stole. They will beg for peace. Heaven will hear them, but you are not required to take them back. This is divine justice, not sentimental mercy. You are being lifted, not to return to old patterns, but to rewrite history. Even time itself bends around your obedience now. The wealthy one, the one assigned to bless you, has just received a vision. It came while they slept. You stood in a garden of silver trees, and spoke one sentence, I forgive you. They woke up sobbing. They feel unworthy. But your compassion has shattered their resistance. They now know they must find you, not as a benefactor, but as a divine equal. Not to own you, but to honor you. Not to fix you, but to walk beside you. A contract is being drawn in the unseen realm. It is inked in light. The terms are sealed with an angel's tear and a strand of your DNA. This is a generational reversal. Your bloodline will no longer beg. Your name will no longer be overlooked. You are not stepping into a season, you are stepping into a divine role. The entire cosmos is realigning around your readiness. Every delay is dead. Every gate is open. One last deception will try to slip through. A person with sweet words and empty spirit. They carry a counterfeit crown. Look into their eyes. If the light doesn't flicker, walk away. This season requires sacred partnerships, not parasites. You'll feel moments of dizziness, as if you're floating between worlds. That's because you are. Heaven is rethreading your soul into the correct dimension. Colors may appear sharper. Random songs will feel like prophecy. Time will feel elastic, because the veil is now thinner than breath. You've survived betrayal, manipulation, exile, and shame. Not to prove your strength, but to prepare your spirit. Only those broken open can carry divine fire without burning out. Your life is about to look unrecognizable. Not from fame, but open this now.